Please start with the introduction.
Uh, so I am Syed Majid Ahmed. I belong from Lucknow, UP. I have done most of my schooling from Lucknow only. I did my graduation from IIT Jabalpur in Electronics and Communication Engineering. I passed out in 2022. There my CGPA was 8.8. I did my final year project uh, in the domain of 5G communication. Since my graduation, I have been preparing for government sector exams, and I am interested in analog and digital electronics. Thank you.
That's fine, Majid. You are passed out in which year?
2022.
2022. And there's a gap of 2 years. What you have been doing so far?
So, in the meantime, I've been preparing for GATE exam, and that's all.
Preparing for GATE examination.
Mm.
That's fine. Why you want to target? You mentioned in your introduction that you were preparing for government jobs since your graduation, right?
Mhm.
So why government? I think that the youth should be promoted towards the private sector also. Then why
Uh,
government? Why are you targeting government sector, state center, or PSU?
I am targeting government jobs in general, especially PSU.
Especially PSU. Why a PSU?
And because as like private sector and this PSUs both are good and both are contributing towards the progress of the nation. However, I feel that PSUs invest more of their more energy into the growth of their employees. For example, NPCIL provides its employees 1 year of initial training. Secondly, I feel that in PSUs we have opportunities for higher learning. And thirdly, like PSUs are more honest as compared to private sector. There is no sensational marketing. There are no false tricks to lure investors in as compared to some private sector companies. So, in conclusion, I would say that PSUs have more of people's trust as compared to private sector. That is why I am more inclined towards PSUs.
I must see one thing very clearly. The things which you're mentioning to me that about the training, these are there in the private sector also. Then why a private, not a private?
Uh,
You have
Ma'am,
mentioned that they're in the private sector.
yes, training is there, but it is not up to that extent which is there in PSUs. See, no private company will provide 1 year training to its employees. That is for sure. And secondly, in private companies, there are very less opportunities to pursue, say, MTech or PhD. However, in PSUs, if it is relevant to the organization, they will encourage the employee to go forward and pursue MTech or PhD. Hello, was
Yeah, Madhav. Okay. See, okay, chalo. Why in PSUs only NPCL, the number of PSUs? Then why NPCL is your reason?
Because NPCIL is India's only PSU that is working towards electricity generation through nuclear power. And I believe nuclear power is very important for the growth of the country because it is carbon free. There is very less carbon, there is very less carbon emission. And presently, India is facing severe crisis because of pollution. So, I think if we can promote this pollution-free sources of energy, then it will be very good for the progress of the nation.
Can you just tell me the running project of NPCL as of now, which we find the most fascinating one?
Most fascinating, I would say that it is this Kunda Kulam power project because there they have installed apart from nuclear power generation, they also have a wind power plant. So there at Kundakalam, they are using both these sources to generate electricity.
Okay. Tell me about your strength and weakness.
So my strength, I would say it is my technical prowess. I am skilled in almost all of the electronic subjects. That is my strength. And my weakness, I would say that like sometimes I find it difficult to work under too much pressure.
Okay. So how you're trying to overcome the pressure which has been built?
So I take for this I take 5 to 10 minutes in between my work. I sit in a quiet place for some time and try to regain my energy back, and then I start working again.
Okay. Achha, I would like to hear one thing that you were preparing for a PSU, but I think that the better thing would be that you are working in some private sector, you gain some certain skills, and then you come to a PSU. Like the many candidates are coming, they're coming from an experienced sector. Why you think that being a fresher also you're better than them?
Uh, I'm sorry, I did not get your point.
See, you're a fresher, you've not worked in any organization and private
Mm-hmm.
firm, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you could do is you had a gap of 2 years, right? You could
Mm-hmm.
have worked in the private sector, you could have gained certain experience which might be helpful while working, while selecting you in NPCIL. Why you think that being a fresher also, you're better than all the experienced candidates who are coming right now for the interview?
Uh, Ma'am, so like many of my friends took placement in companies. However, like most of those companies were IT sector companies, and I think that many of my co-aspirants for NPCIL who might be working, they will also be from IT sector. And I think IT sector, it is not that much relevant to NPCIL. Secondly, for my part, I think that since the last 2 years, I have honed my technical skills to a great extent. And for in BTech, most of the students have some of their subjects weak. So even like I have prepared each of my subject in great depth, and I can answer most of the technical questions related to my BTech subject. So I think my technical prowess, it gives me a plus point over my co-aspirants.
Okay. Majid, what is that one thing that makes you different from others?
Uh, I can work as a part of a team very well because during my BTech project, I was a part of a team. Uh, we were working in online mode, so we had students from from South India, from Uttarakhand. I was from UP, so I was working as a part of a team, and we as a team did very well. So I think that makes me different from others.
Okay. Majid, any of the biggest challenge you have met so far?
Biggest challenge. So during COVID time, I began my preparation for GATE exam, and I was also attending classes online of my college. And my grandmother had at that time was ill, so I had these three pressures in my mind. But I could manage all those pressures, and finally I did well. I did well in my college exams, and my GATE score was also good. So that is what I would say.
Okay. Majid, one more thing I would like to hear. What will be if you get selected today? Do you have any problem in the relocation?
Uh, no, actually, I have myself been from a village background initially, and I think most of the NPCIL plants are in rural areas, so I have no problems in being posted there. And side by side, I have no problem in being posted at some city location. So I'm perfectly fine with wherever I am posted.
Sorry, I cannot hear you properly, Majid.
Mm,
Repeat it out.
okay, so regarding NPCIL plants, so most of those plants are in village locations. So I'm perfectly fine being posted anywhere.
And what about the food barriers, like your place in different positions and all that, and the language barriers you will have? Will it be okay for you? How would you accommodate at the very start in the case of language barriers?
So in the case of language barriers, see, in my college itself, there were many people from South India who used to speak Telugu and Malayalam. But I could make friends with them, we used to communicate in English. And slowly, I also learned some words of Telugu and Malayalam. So I feel that I'll be able to accommodate language barriers quickly.
If you have to summarize your personality in one word, what word will you are going to choose for yourself?
I would call myself dedicated.
Dedicated. Okay. See, Majid, what is the problem in US that whenever I'm trying to answer some questions, right, you're trying to provide me not the exact fact, but an extended answer of it. Like if I give you an example, like relocation one, right? So it's a very simple and it's all requires your mindset that, ma'am, I think that relocation is not a big trouble. I don't have any problem with the food barrier. But coming to the language barrier, we will say that Google Translator is there with us right now. And if there is some kind of a problem with the layman and all that, we can accommodate, we can use the technology and overcome that problem, right? So that is about it. Like it requires some smart answer. Your presence of mind is needed, nothing else. Okay. So Google Translator can be one option. Second is like I asked you, Majid, like why being a fresher also, why you think that you're a better fit? You don't have to tell, ma'am, they are working in the IT sector and all that. That is why they were not able to accommodate. Even if you're working in any sector, be it IT, be in anywhere, you learn certain skills to work in a team. That is also important one. The way they ask it out, right? So it could be, ma'am, I would say that yes, both the experienced and the freshers, they have their own advantages. If I consider myself being a fresher, I can be an asset to the organization because I'm easy adaptable person and who can actually learn the skills in a short passage of time. I think the only drawback with the experienced candidates have is they're already accommodated to a culture and they require certain time to change their way of practicing the things, right? And where we are the ones, the freshers are the one, they are like a blank slate who can be easily adjustable, easily you can say, working in any sector. So that is why you can say both the freshers and experienced have their own advantages. So there's nothing like that. Okay. So you have to choose the right words in that direction. If I ask you like, Majid, why a PSU only? Like why government sector, right? So you would say it out, ma'am, I think that it's about working in the core sector. And I have my academic interest in that particular sector. That is why I'm looking for NPCIL. You understand? Like if I say it out, ma'am, why particularly NPCIL is an option? So you could say it out, ma'am. First thing is that NPCIL is a sector where I have my academic interest. Okay. I wanted to work in my core sector. That is why I never got for any campus placement option. Second is that these are the you can say while working in a PSU, particularly NPCIL, I'm going to get some certain job satisfaction. By job satisfaction, you mean us that you're working for the development of the economy of a country, right? So you're doing the progression in that right way. Third, it is about the progressive promotional career. That is not very much. You don't have to say transparency. You don't have to use some controversial words, right? वो words मत use करो. Use the words like, ma'am, I can grow for good progressive promotional career opportunities, which are look in PSU like NPCIL. The growth enrichment is going to be really good because in PSUs, it is sure that you are going to work on multiple projects. जैसे आपको national, international projects का exposure मिलता है, ठीक है? But in case of private, it is not sure कि आपको projects मिलते रहेंगे. क्या पता आपको ना मिले? क्या पता आप select होते हो कि नहीं होते हो, right? But वहां पे आपकी surety है. तो you understand? एक इस तरह से explain करना कि रट्टा भी ना लगे और कुछ demeaning answers नहीं देने पे. आप में वो problem है. ठीक है? वो मत करो. और आई थिंक जो बाकी क्वेश्चन से जैसे एक वर्ड में डेडिकेटेड इज नॉट वेरी गुड वर्ड यू कैन से इट आउट आई एम अ गुड लर्नर आई एम अ पर्सन हु इज वेरी फ्लेक्सिबल अडेप्टेबल विद लॉजिकल थिंकिंग रैशनल माइंडसेट बड़ी वर्ड्स होते हैं कोई भी वर्ड चूज कर लो ठीक है
ओके मैम
तो वैसे करो ना थोड़ा थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करो अभी अच्छे से इट्स योर फर्स्ट एचआर नो वरीज देयर वर मिस्टेक्स लॉट्स ऑफ मिस्टेक्स आई वुड से इट You have to use the right choice. You don't have to mention an introduction. I'm preparing for the government sector, PSU, nothing. It should be very simple. Good morning, ma'am. I'm Majid Ahmed. I hail from Citydis. Coming to my academics, I have done this in my graduation. And during my graduation, this was the area of my core strength. So that when they're asking you technical run, आप अपने core का part पहले ही बता दिया. Apart from the technical, this can say it out. My core strength, I have done multiple projects, and the major project which I've worked is name that project, right? तो दैट इज और कोई अचीवमेंट है कोई पेपर किया है कोई गेट मतलब कि कुछ भी ऐसे आपके अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट अचीवमेंट है कोई अपने को करिकुलम में किया है तो वो बोल सकते हो टू अपार्ट फ्रॉम माय एकेडमिक्स टू बैलेंस माय फिजिकल एंड मेंटल हेल्थ रियली वेल आई डू पार्टिसिपेट इन को करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज इट शुड बी एन ओवरऑल इंट्रोडक्शन लाइक यू आर हिटिंग डिफरेंट सेक्टर्स फ्रीलांसिंग की है कुछ भी ठीक है वो भी बता सकते हो
ओके मैम फाइन
थोड़ा प्रिपेयर करके आओ राइट नाउ आई वांट से इट्स अ गुड वन ठीक है ऑनेस्टली
ओके फाइन मैम वन डाउट आई हैव one ma'am actually this private sector also offers core jobs, so I cannot say that that
It
core
offers
jobs are
core
available
job,
only
but
in core.
no, it's not very sure. Suppose in a campus placement, आपके बहुत लोगों ने आपने बोला IT sector में गए हैं. There are number of things because they don't get the job in the core sector because the core companies are very much limited. They're already very much limited, and the scope of getting the projects in that run, they're not, because they do get the projects, they don't get the projects, and the work culture is quite static in private. Whatever you're doing it, you do it continuously for the years you are running it out. In public, there is an exposure. You are being into the rotational shift. You are being introduced to a number of, you can say, different projects, and that is where your growth enrichment occurs. Most important is that there is a diversification, good diversification in PSU. Like I'm from North, you are from South, someone is from East, someone is from West. All they align together, they exchange their ideas, and that is the way it goes on. Right? So you're working all together on different projects, different mindset is there, progressive promotional career is there, number of options can be there. I just provide you the skeleton. ठीक है, मैंने एग्जैक्ट आंसर अभी भी नहीं बताया बिकॉज द रीजन इज आई एम लिविंग अ स्पेस. ट्राई करके आओ, नहीं आएगा तो मैं बताऊंगी, नहीं तो रट्टा हो जाएगा. ठीक
ओके
है,
मैम, फाइन
हाँ,
फाइन।
ट्राई इन पे गैप्स फिल करा करो. एज इट इज आंसर मेरा भी नहीं लेना आपको. आपको क्या करना है, थोड़ा मेरे से पार्ट लिया, जैसे सपोज करो आपको पॉइंट अच्छा लगा, कोई भी एक ले लो, एकेडमिक इंटरेस्ट का लग गया, या फिर आपको डाइवर्सिटी का लग गया, या फिर पॉलिसी का लग गया. ठीक है, या आपको यही बता दो कि पीएसयू साहब मैं पैशन सिंस डे वन, ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम लगाए थे, कुछ भी अच्छा लग गया, एक को उठा लो एक्सटेंडेड, क्योंकि जब हम रीजन प्रोवाइड करते हैं हम लंबा रीजन नहीं देते, हम छोटा रीजन देते हैं. ठीक है, वो उस पर वर्क करो और फिर दोबारा लगो मेरे साथ.
ओके मैम, फाइन.
ठीक है, चलो, ओके, टेक केयर माजिद, ऑल द बेस्ट.
थैंक यू वेरी मच मैम.